and welcome to my knitting podcast. So first, a round of introductions. My name is Julianne. I am a Canadian, but I've been living in Southwest Germany for the past 6 years. And since moving here to Germany, I have really fallen in love with knitting. I am a physiotherapist. I love spending time in the outdoors, here in Germany in the Black Forest, and also going back to Canada a few times every year and like really just spending time in the mountains there. I love knitting. I've also started to fall in love with sewing. I'll talk about that at the very end of the video though. So I think at least for my first video, I'm just gonna keep it as like a traditional podcast, what I'm wearing, finished objects, what I'm working on. And if I have any acquisitions, then I'll talk about that at the end. So let's get started. So first, what I'm wearing is the Sailor Swift top from Kutovakika. And this is my first time working with hand-dyed yarn. This yarn is from a small German dyer. The name is Yundi Grete, and they do have a website, but it's still like in the process of being able to purchase things. I know that before, like a few months ago, they uploaded a few things that you could buy from them online. Since then, everything's been sold out, but they do have like a notice on the website that they are like working on it. I saw them first at a yarn festival, and oh my gosh, guys, the colors were all so beautiful. They had such nice yarns and I would have bought more, but I restrained myself to one skein, and one skein was enough to get like a full tank top. It's a little cropped, but that's fine because all of my pants are high rise and I think I prefer this length anyways. I don't know the name of this yarn anymore, what they call it, but it was the one with wool and linen blend. I think it was 80-20. And for the white stripes, I mixed one strand of the really lightweight drops cotton in like a pure white, and also one strand of BC garn. It's like the really fine yarn that is like in a cream color to kind of mute it a bit, because I did do like one stripe on the shoulder where it was just the cotton, and it was almost too stark of a difference between that and the hand-dyed yarn. So I held it with the cream to kind of like tone it down a little bit, and I think it worked out really good. As for the pattern, I really like it because I can wear a bra with it. It's very comfortable, just like a very basic tank top pattern. I guess the only thing I would do if I were to make this again is here on the neckline, you can kind of really see from this one white stripe that it's pulling. So I would maybe just add like a couple more increases here and then just like not have this white line in front, like just have it as the blue. And then I feel like you wouldn't be able to see any pulling of the stripes at all. I definitely would make this again, but this year I am working on a different, bigger summer project. I will say though, I am not one for gauge swatching. I'm really, really bad at that. But so far everything has turned out just fine, so it's a risk. But so far it's working out just fine. Now let's get into my last object that I finished, and I love it so much. It is a gift knit. I made the King Salmon sweater by Caitlin Hunter, or Boylan Knitworks. I'm not sure which name she officially goes by. Look at this. This is amazing. So this is a gift knit, but I will someday be making one for me as well, because this is just beautiful. I love it so much. So for the yarn, the blue is Lettlopi in the blue gray. This wool is left over from another bigger project that I was using in the winter, and it's from Waldwolle, which is from Sindelfingen in Germany, and just like a local to Baden-Württemberg wool spinning place. And this is just an undyed natural gray, kind of pale gray that they have. So I'll also try and put all of the pattern names and the names of the yarns that I used in the description in case you're from southwestern Germany and you want to support a smaller yarn business. So the body, I used 4.5, just like the pattern suggests. They also suggest 3.75 for the cuffs. I believe for the cuffs, I also just used a 4.5. Like, I didn't downsize for the cuffs at all, and it worked out, I think, just fine. Like, I think it looks pretty neat. And then for the yoke, I sized up to a 5. And I think also through blocking, there's no big, like, thing here going from one size to the next. Like, it's pretty smooth, you can't really tell. I think that's all I need to say about this. I would highly recommend. I really love it. And she just released a King Salmon light version. So, I mean, this is pretty heavy, but you could also get it in a lighter version, I guess. Okay, then to knits in progress. I need a drink. So the one project which is taking up most of my time is a dress. I am working on the Coastline Mini Dress by Ögla Knitwear Design. And I'm about this far. So it's like a very, very mini dress currently. And I just kind of stopped at the body and I was working on the finishings around the edges. She uses a crochet hook to do the finishings. Okay, first let's talk about this yarn. This is my first attempt at using natural dye, hand dyeing naturally. This wool before was the Drops Loves You 7, I believe, like the finer one out of the two. I think there's a 7 and a 9. And it was a really stark white. It was the same yarn that I was using for these stripes, and I just find it very impractical to actually wear because it's so like blindingly white, and any like little thing that you get on it, like then it's just kind of stained and you can't do anything about it. So I was accepting of any color really that came out of this natural dye bath. I was kind of expecting more of a green, but it turned into the trending butter yellow, which I'm not mad about. So because this was a plant-based fiber, the dyeing process was quite a bit more complicated. I had to first scour the yarn, which is cleaning it. So I had to boil it for an hour with a tiny bit of like laundry detergent and baking soda. And then I had to do an actual mordant bath. And then after that, I had to do a dunging process, which I used like oats. Typically you use like an oat bran. I didn't have oat bran, so I just used normal oatmeal. And then I could finally put it in the dye bath. And for the dye bath, I used ivy leaves just from the garden. And it was just really exciting and fun, you know, something new to try. This is the yarn spun up. And let me go get like an unspun skein. I mean, it just worked out so great. And I'm just really surprised at how well it turned out. Okay, then back to the pattern. This is my first time making a dress. It's on 3mm needles, but it's actually going by really fast. And I think that's because there's quite a bit of shaping. There's some bust shaping, which you can see here. And then also the increases. Can you see that? And I think such a huge chunk of the body, it felt like it was going by really fast because it was potato chippy. You know, like, oh, only like so many more rows before I have another decrease or increase. And that's made knitting this way more enjoyable, I think. I have tried it on once and it does fit like really nicely. She has nice shaping for the back and also for the shoulders. And then on the back side of the dress, there's also going to be 2 I-cord ties. So I think it'll be like a really nice, definitely fitted dress, but maybe something that looks more put together or tailored than just like a long t-shirt kind of dress. So I am finished with all of the increases for the hips, and now I just have probably like another 30 centimeters of straight knitting to do. And then I'll be done this. I'm kind of hoping that I can finish this in the next week and a half maybe, so that I can actually start wearing it now that it's really hot here in Germany. Okay. Then the next project I'm working on, I also have so many gift knits right now. Like I kind of enjoy knitting for other people just as a break. And sometimes I get stressed out thinking like, oh my gosh, in 10 years, I'm gonna have like closets just full of sweaters. And to kind of slow that process down a bit, I like to break it up and knit things for other people. A labor of love. And I think my love language is gifting, so it works out. Anyways, my next project that I'm working on is the season stocks. So this is a pattern by Summerly Designs. This is the second time that I've made this, and I wonder if can you tell the one mistake I made? This row, I messed up a little bit, but you can hardly tell. And I didn't want to go back and fix it, so I'm just leaving it, and I don't think the recipient will be able to tell either because it's for my husband. For him, I'm making the largest size, and I'm also doing it on 2.5 millimeter needles. And we've been like trying it on, making sure it's fitting. Definitely it fits his calf, so that's good. I think for the heel flap, I might just extend it a little bit so that the ankle is a little more roomy for him to get it on his foot. But we'll see when we get there. This is my car ride knitting project that I take because it's just one ball and it's fairly small. Now about the wool, I really love this wool. It's from Hillesvåg, I think that's how you say it. It's Norwegian sock yarn. And this is the Hillesvåg Fjære in Gullgrun. So it's here, let me pull this out a bit so you can actually see it. Although I always get nervous about pulling the middle out of my yarn, so I'll just pull it a bit so you can read. Although it's probably mirrored, so I'm just gonna leave it in the description anyways. This was kind of like a cart add-on last minute when I ordered some other wool from this yarn brand. I didn't order it directly from like their website. I got it from like a Norwegian retailer. But to get free shipping, then I just added this to the cart because I was just curious about it and I wanted to try it, and I really love it. It's rustic. It's definitely really rustic. It's Norwegian wool, 80% and nylon, but it's just very like rustic and earthy, and especially the color. I just think the color is really nice and he loved it. So when I ordered it, I didn't really have plans. I was just assuming that I was gonna make myself a pair of socks, but then he really liked it, so I'm making him some socks now. So I think that's all I have to say about this. And then my next whip is also a bigger whip, and it has also been on the back burner since starting my dress because this is something for fall. And I am making the Carla Cape by Ventzel, and I am going to be steeking this cape, this long cardigan. It's just a long cardigan. So this will be my first time steeking because I did not want to knit a thigh length cardigan back and forth. I am one of those people who will actively avoid purling if I can, and I like cardigans. I feel like cardigans are very wearable, but in the past I've kind of avoided it because I don't like purling so much. So this is test to see if I can get away with it. This is also a gift knit though, so there's not a whole lot of room for mistake because it's not for me, it's for somebody else. It's actually for my mother. And this was also a very proud knitter's moment for me. I have to explain the story on how my mom wanted this cardigan exactly. So my mom and dad are really into this one Scottish crime TV show, and my mom saw this one character in this one episode and was wearing this cardigan. She's like, oh, I really like this. Maybe you could knit me something like this. And she was trying to explain it. And we were trying to find a screenshot of the character wearing that cardigan, for this one episode, because I wasn't able to stream it here to watch. But then when I was looking on just Google Images, I found the character wearing another cardigan. Wait, I gotta see where. I recognized that she was wearing the Robinia sweater, also from Anna Ventzel. And I told my mom, oh, I know the sweater. And she was like, yeah, well, it's not like that. And then she was explaining it more. And then I found this one and I showed my mom the picture and she was like, that's the sweater, that's it, that's what she was wearing. And so I recognized the sweater and we were able to find the exact pattern for me to make my mom. Okay, then first about the yarn. This yarn that she uses would have been so expensive because she's just using all Isager and I don't have the money for that. And I was looking for something similar that would give kind of a similar vibe, the halo and something really soft and a little bit luxe feeling. So for the white, I am using one strand of Viking Wool and also one strand of Drops Alpaca. And then for the black, I'm using one strand of Lettlopi. And this is just the really, the marled black color. And I'm holding that together with one strand of Isager Alpaca. Okay, now first, I need to get this off my lap because it's really hot. This Viking yarn, I'm serious, this is the softest yarn I have ever felt. It's 100% Highland merino wool. And I don't know where I heard this. I don't know if it was a different podcast or maybe they were talking about something totally different, but I really assumed that this Viking wool was this specialty sheep breed that the Vikings used or something. I thought it was this really old sheep breed, I guess. and then I realized that it actually comes from Peru. It's Highland wool from Peru. But that's honestly fine by me because this is the softest wool that I have ever felt, and it will be interesting to see how it wears. And that's why I think it's good that I'm holding it with some alpaca because it's so soft. I don't know, it might be pilling quite a bit. So I think it's good to hold it with something else to strengthen it a little bit. It's just a single spun. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so that's the main. And then let's talk about alpaca for a moment. This is my hot take of the episode. I got this Isager alpaca because I've heard a lot of people talking about it, especially like Florence. She was talking about how she often uses Isager alpaca instead of mohair for some sweaters. And here's the thing, this is like a white cream color and this is black. And I know that sometimes the dyeing process alters how soft things are. And I mean, like, okay, yeah, this is like very soft, but so is this. And I feel like, well, you can kind of see maybe this one does have quite a bit of a halo. This one doesn't really have much of a halo. I don't know. My hot take is that I think Drops alpaca is really, really good. Okay, so let's talk about alpaca. I got this Isager alpaca. I really wanted to try like anything from Isager. I haven't gotten anything from Isager so far because it's talked about a lot as a good like replacement for mohair because it's just a lace weight, and it is really soft. Like it's not scratchy at all. But I feel like in comparison, this also isn't any like scratchier. I think this is also very, very soft and really nice, and it's very affordable. So going forward, I don't know if I would get this again. Maybe if I did, it would be because of colors, because Isager does have generally better colors than Drops. But I think if I'm going for like neutrals, like beige, like white, black, gray, then I think I would just continue using the Drops wool. This was €8. This was maybe €8 or €9, and this was €3. And then I guess the other difference is that this is a bit thicker. This one has 400 meters in it, and this only has 167. So this is definitely a bit thicker. If you're going for like, you know, you need like a whole bunch for a project, then you could get 3 balls of this and it would be enough for like a big pullover. And obviously for this one you would need more, but I guess if you want to like fill in a garment more, if your other yarn that you're holding it with is a bit thinner, then I would also recommend this one just because this is a bit more body to it and a bit more halo. So that's my hot take. So that's all the things that I'm working on currently. I am really on a stash bust this summer. I have a trip coming up in September. I'm going to be going to Canada, and we're also doing a road trip when we get there to the West Coast. We're going on Vancouver Island, and I really want to get some like nice Canadian wool. So I'm really trying to use up my stash right now so that I have some room when I actually go to Canada and I don't feel bad about buying more. But I will share with you guys the last thing that I did buy. Let me go grab it. Okay, so the last thing that I bought was actually a mistake. I got a whole bag of Lettlopi, and this is in like the lighter gray. It's shade 54. I originally got this yarn to hold for my Carla Cape, for my mom's Carla Cape, and I guess when I saw it online, I thought it was a lot lighter. Like I thought it was just like an off-white, but when it came, it was definitely like a gray. But I love a cool tone gray, and I definitely don't have anything in this shade of gray, so I didn't want to return it. I wanted to keep it. And I'm going to be holding it together with more of my Drops alpaca that I have in stash, also just light gray. And I really am excited to cast on the Dagmar zipper sweater. That's going to be my next knitting project, not sewing, because I just envision myself going on our like trip to Vancouver Island and me like walking on these like rocky beaches and in the forest with my Dagmar zipper jacket, sweater, and I'm just so excited about it. I think it's gonna be perfect for that trip, and I think it'll be just chef's kiss. So I'm really trying to finish my mini dress, and then I'm gonna be finishing the Carla Cape. I only have a few more repeats to do, and then just the arms. And I mean, honestly, all of the finishings on that is going to take quite a bit of time. But as soon as I'm done, then I'm going to be casting on, and I'm so excited about it. Okay, so that is all I have for my knitting portion of the podcast. If you made it this far, thank you so much for supporting me and watching this podcast. And if you're interested, then continue watching for a little bit of sewing talk. So, some sewing projects that I am going to be starting, maybe today even, actually. I need to do a little bit of sewing in preparation for the Ren Fair. It's not called Ren Fair in Germany, it's like a medieval festival, but I'm going to the Kaltenberger Turnerei. Okay, it's the Kaltenberger Ritterturnier oder Reiterturnier, I'm not sure. But it's like the Knights tournament, and we're going to this night show, and it's like it starts in the evening, and they have, I mean, it's like Ren Fair. I've never been to a Ren Fair though, and I always see in the summer people posting about it like in Canada, and my siblings, they just went to a Ren Fair, and I was just getting such FOMO, and then I saw that they have this huge festival here in Germany, and I'm just so excited to go, and I really want to dress up, but I don't have anything to wear. So I'm going to be sewing some things this week for Friday. It's now Sunday. So I have a week to get my outfit ready. And I just think it would be so fun to wear all like handmade garments. I have completed the Sid tie dress by Sydney Graham. So I think I might wear that as one of the layers because it's like a nice medieval tavern wench kind of dress length. And last night at like 11:30, I ordered stuff to make a corset. I really try and avoid ordering stuff from Amazon, but for this, I kind of made an excuse because I haven't been to any of the sewing stores here in the area. So I don't know if they would have like boning or those like the like metal clips with the holes for like lacing, and I need like an iron-on interfacing. So those three things I did order on Amazon, and they'll be coming tomorrow. Already have a pattern, so I'm going to be making the Autumn Stays corset pattern from Meadow Patterns. And I think that one's really nice because it has like ribbon here on the front. There's like the two holes. What are they called? I gotta look it up. Metal eyelets. That's the metal clippy things that I was talking about. So they have metal eyelets like connecting the back portion of the strap and like the front of the corset. So it's very adjustable, which I think is good because, I mean, especially something like a corset, to actually make it very fitted would be very difficult. So it's something that I think I can manage sewing. I have a little bit of sewing experience now that I followed the Sid tie dress pattern, and we're just gonna try it out. I am only struggling with what vibe I'm gonna be going. Do I want to be like a hobbit, light and airy, or do I want to be like a dark knight? I'm kind of wanting to be a dark knight, but I don't really have any chainmail, and I think it's now too late to learn how to make chainmail. So I think I'm gonna go for the light and airy hobbit. Especially because I already have a lot of scrap, like pastel fabrics. Let me grab some to show you. So the dress that I have is blue, and I think if I'm wearing that, it might be nice to have something blue or maybe green with it. But anyways, just some examples of what I have. This is actually a skirt from a secondhand dress that I bought, but like, look how huge this is. And so I cut it off, and I've just been saving it for like years as extra fabric. I also have just this kind of grayish canvas, which would also work. This would be very plain though. But I'm kind of being drawn to using the fabric on, again, another skirt. But let me see if I can just hold up the pattern. I think that is such a pretty pattern. And like, that would be really nice. So, I think I might go for this. And then for ribbons, I looked at buying some ribbon in my order. I think I'm gonna wait, go to a store here, see what they have, and if not, then I might just kind of like make my own ribbon or use like really long strips of fabric or something. Like, I'll figure something out. Yeah, so I still need to buy the pattern, and I think today I'm gonna be doing all the prep work. So like actually printing the pieces out, taping them all together, cutting it out. And maybe I'll even start with cutting out my fabric today, so that tomorrow when my interfacing and stuffs come, then I can actually start sewing, and I will have time to get it ready for Friday. So that's a little glimpse into my life. I am a big geek for that kind of stuff, and it's kind of perfect because I'm right in the middle of reading Throne of Glass, and it's just really hyped up my desire to be a fae tavern lady at the Ren Fair. Okay, so now we're really at the end of the video. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.